Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. In case you were like, wait a minute, what day of the week is it? It's Tuesday. So happy Tuesday in case you needed that reminder. If you've never seen a video of mine before, welcome. My name is Ashton Seneca. I am a marching fundamental specialist, leadership clinician, and mindset performance coach. If you have seen my videos before, I would hope that you say hello because we're friends, right? So I love when these videos are like if we were just hanging out at Starbucks. I know I talk fast. Feel free to ask questions, clarification, drop your thoughts, your ideas. Treat this as if we are having a conversation, right? Hello. Oh, we have two Destinies on here. Hello, Destiny and Destiny. Hello, Tracy. So let me know how you're doing as you are hopping on, because I feel like this is a really good topic for us to have right now. We got a lot of crazy shit going on. Destiny says hello in capital letters. Hello. Okay. So let's hop in. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the panic. We're talking about going from panic into problem solving. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of jobs, like me as an educator, there was a lot, like that's a job that requires when something crazy happens that I'm not allowed to panic over it. Because if I panic and I have 250 kids with me, well, that turns into a crazy mess. That's like being a teacher, being a doctor, being a nurse. Like these are all jobs that like, there's things that happen, crazy shit happens where we don't get to panic about it. We have to immediately like shut that down and problem solve, okay? And so I feel like right now with everything that's been going on with this pandemic, it's caused a lot of instability and a lot of chaos, and that we've had this panic that's just become a part of everything, that at some point in time, like we are going to have to sit down and say like, okay, we have to move forward. Like as a teacher, here's the thing. So as a teacher, if something goes crazy, if I'm a band director and I'm at a contest, or if there were to be an active shooter that were to come in, I would immediately have to shove that panic down and start problem solving and creating actionable steps so I can tell the students what to do, so I can like take care of them, okay? So let's put this in more of like a pandemic real life situation thing. So I left teaching to become an entrepreneur. Let me tell you something about entrepreneur life. You don't know what's coming up next. And that's ultimately where the panic is coming from. During the pandemic, especially at the very beginning of it, stores didn't have toilet paper. We were out of food. People weren't sure if their jobs were going to be there. Like everything, think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That very bottom part of the pyramid that is essential to it, that stability around basic necessities, food, money, things like that. Well, for a while there was that instability about it. And there is still chaos and instability around it. This is the highest rate of unemployment that people are have applied and are using. I'm not phrasing this right, but unemployment, right? That schools, we don't know what's going on with that, if they're opening or not. And it's different no matter where you are across the state, right? So we still have this instability and this slight amount of chaos that everyone is like, this panic is coming from. But here's the thing that I learned with entrepreneur life. So being an entrepreneur, I'm going to tell you right now, you never know what's coming. You never know what the next day is going to look like. Like I've learned that where I went from being a teacher where this is my paycheck that I get every month, no matter what, even if I mess up one month and I don't do my job as well, I'm still going to get my steady, stable paycheck. To entrepreneur life where, girl, you ain't got no steady, stable paycheck. You got to figure out how to make it work. Like, okay, like I had all these dreams and goals in my head and all these ideas I wanted to do. Let me tell you something, that does not just pop up immediately right away. So I felt a lot of this panic, this fear of like, where's the money coming from? I don't have the steady, stable paycheck. How am I going to make this work? Et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to become a point in time where we have to look in the mirror and we have to make the decision. Because here's the thing, I was not going to wake up one day and all of a sudden everything was back to teaching where I had a steady, stable, normal paycheck and all of those things. That wasn't going to happen. I had to wake up and make the decision that I was no longer going to allow the panic to rule my decisions and actions, and instead I had to choose something different. Now, this is not necessarily about shoving down emotions. We're supposed to feel emotions like anger, sadness, fear. We're supposed to feel all those emotions. But by now, let's think. So this pandemic really started to kick in around in March, right? March, April, May, June. We're now in July. We're now on 5 months of us as a society allowing panic to rule the way that we speak to other people, the decisions we make, and the actions that we take. So we have to wake up someday and we are going to have to say, okay, no. We're going to do something different. So what I started to do is I woke up that one day and I made that decision. I was like, no. We're not doing this anymore. So here's a fun thing that I started to do. So I started to view it as me being the main character in this like heroic novel. So if this is my heroic novel, like if you ever read like one of those dystopian novels or things like that, like you read either whether it's Harry Potter or you read The Hunger Games or really Star Wars, any of that stuff, the heroes of the novel never really know what's coming up next. They never really know. Because if you think about it, so we all have Star Wars or Harry Potter, like we have it memorized, right? But the heroes in it don't have it memorized and they don't know what's coming up next and they don't ever know if they're going to take the right action that goes to the right thing, but they keep showing up and they keep trying anyways. And that's the biggest thing to get out of that panic is we have to start taking action and start knowing that we don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know if it's going to be the right action or not, but we have to take action. So like I said, I started treating this as if I'm the main character in this heroic novel where I have to take action. And that's the key there is we have to take action. That when we sit there and we let that feeling of panic overwhelm us, if I'm a teacher and I'm in this active shooter training or some panic-filled situation and I'm sitting there and I'm like freaking out about it, no, the key is taking action. It's like, okay, yeah, but how do I get past the panic enough? So number one is take some deep breaths and start doing, for example, on your daily routine, add in some either meditation or guided visualizations. Because another thing too is a lot of us, our nervous system. So think about if somebody scares you, like they come around a corner, you're like, whoa, dude, you scared the shit out of me, right? That's the nervous system that I'm talking about. So for the past 5 months, everyone has gotten used to, in this pandemic, the nervous system being constantly on alert, and our stress and our cortisol levels are constantly raised because we're constantly worried and stressed out about everything. So we need to start incorporating things like deep breathing, like especially today, I woke up with that feeling of my nervous system being triggered. So I made it a point all day today, because when our nervous system is triggered, we're taking shallower breaths, right? That I kept my shoulders down and I was making it a point to deep breathe down into my stomach all day today. You would be amazed what 3 deep breaths can do. That just taking a second and doing that for 3 or 4 times can calm the nervous system back down and calm that fight or flight response back down. And some of us have created an unconscious, subconscious cycle, not some of us, a lot of us, of that cortisol level being up and that panic response being up and our nervous system firing. And I'm going to tell you a secret. And this is the thing is I said to myself that I'm not going to just wake up and all of a sudden have a steady, stable paycheck in this entrepreneur life. I've got to figure out how to make this work. Okay. So I had to come to that recognition that I'm not going back to my old normal. This is my new normal. And a lot of us with this pandemic keep waiting for things to go back to our old normal that we're comfortable with. And this may be something that people don't want to hear, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. We are not going back to the old normal. When this is all said and done, society in the world is not going to be the old normal that we were comfortable and used to. It is going to be a new normal. So at some point in time, we have to wake up and make the decision to make this new normal work and stop wishing and hoping for the old normal and waiting around for that shit to kick back in. It's not going to. So how can we make this new normal work? How can we find joy and fulfillment and peace and freedom in this new normal? How can we bring the nervous system and that reaction to everything back down? Deep breathing. So number one, find a way to put in deep breathing, yoga, meditation in your daily routine to retrain the nervous system to calm back down. Key number one, we got to get the nervous system calm back down. Number two, understanding that this is our new normal. How can I make it work? How can I make it work? This is our new normal. And it's not even one of those things of, well, I guess this is just our new normal. And this okay, I guess I just have to give up. No, we're not giving up. We're saying, again, the hero in this novel that we're writing, this is our new normal. I'm going to be the hero in this and I'm going to make it work for me. It's not, we're not giving up by making this work. It takes strength and grit and resilience to look at a new normal and be brave, not knowing what's going to happen and not know how to face it, but at least try. So my process that I like to use is when I have things come up is number one, I take a deep breath and I calm my nervous system back down. And then I say, what is the problem right now? So for example, for teachers right now, the problem is, okay, we are still having to do virtual learning. And it's not anymore like what we had in the spring semester for educators, which was crisis teaching for all, like that's all it was in the spring semester. But now we're to the fall. We have more information, we're smarter, we're better trained, and we're more prepared for this. So what's the problem that's been handed to me? Okay, can't have my band camp right now. Okay, I can't have band camp and school is starting late and I have to do virtual learning. That's the problem. Okay. What do I want to be the end goal? What do I want the end result to look like? Do I want it to feel panicked? Do I want it to feel like I'm just like making it and barely surviving? Hell no, I don't want that. When we're all said and done, I still want the students to be able to understand marching fundamentals and know what I'm talking about. I want them to have their playing ready to go. I want them good to go with their fundamentals, whatever it is. What do we want the end result to look like? So even when I'm in the midst of and I've tried teaching, doctors, nurses, things like that, those are jobs where we have to train our brain. Our brain gets trained really quickly to push aside the panic and do this process. So I'm like, okay, right now, this is the problem that's going on. The solution I need is I need all the students over there, but this is the problem. How do I want to handle it? I'm going to do it right here. So the next step is, I want this end result. This is what I want it to feel like. What are the five steps I need to take, and what's the first one? So I'm looking around, for example, I'm like, okay, we need all the students over there and we need them in a single file line. These are the 5 ways to do that. Here's what the first one is. Take that action and move. Take it, move, do the action before you can second guess it and before you can even think about it. Because again, this is our new normal. We have to look at it instead of like, all right, well, I give up now. I was trying to survive until, here's the other thing too. I am not here to just survive. So this whole about like I'm gonna just survive until we get back to our old normal. No, we're not doing that anymore. Instead of just surviving until we get to our old normal, which by the way is not gonna happen, it's let me thrive in this new normal. So training the brain to, instead of panicking, like first off, calm the nervous system down, yoga, deep breathing, and meditation/guided visualization. So number one, calm the nervous system back down. It spent 5 months being elevated and our stress and cortisol being elevated. Calm them back down, okay? Working out is a good way to release a lot of that energy too. Whatever you feel like doing, going for walks, going for runs, strength training, cardio, yoga, dancing, whatever that is, find an outlet for it. Number two, instead of allowing the panic to rule, we look at it and say, what is the problem? What is the problem? Like a scientist would. What's the problem? Okay, what's the end result that I want to have? Whether like data driven, and how do I want it to feel? Do I want to feel panicked and stricken? No, I'm tired of that. Here's the other thing too. The panic and fear and stuff is an energy vampire. We are using up 50 to 75% of our energy when we are in the panic and fear and overwhelm. So right now, okay, you know what? I'm the hero of my own story. I'm going to thrive in this new normal instead of just surviving until somebody tells me something different. So we're gonna thrive in this. What's the problem? As a scientist, here's the problem. This is the end result I want. This is how I want it to feel. These are the next 5 steps. Break it down into 5 steps. These are the 5 things that need to happen, and I'm gonna start right here and immediately take action on step 1. Don't think about it again and don't second guess it. Just move. Because that is how we break out of that panic, is we move. We take action. Okay? So, and here's the thing too with it. Well, I tried and it didn't work. Okay, then what's the problem? Go back to the beginning of the process. What's the problem? I tried this and it didn't work. Okay, what do I want to do? Like, here's 3 good questions to ask that I learned from a mentor of mine. What worked? What didn't work? How do I want to adjust it? And then I'm going to try again. Because we're not going back to the old normal. So surviving until we get to the old normal, that's bullshit. And we need to make the decision to say, this is our new normal and I'm going to thrive. I'm tired of surviving. Like, aren't you tired of surviving? Those of you watching this video, are you tired of the energy that it takes to just survive, waiting for somebody to tell us different? So I'm telling you different right now. We're not going back to the old normal. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and all of this have not happened and everything be back to where it was. Because honestly, I don't want it to. Think about right now during the pandemic. Have you realized right now the things that are really important to you, the things that you were taking for granted, the things that when they happen and you can do them again, that you are going to be so appreciative and grateful for the opportunity to do that? With all of for example, all the protests that are coming up and all the discussions in regards to politics and in regards to racism, I don't want to go back to when we weren't talking about those things. I like this new normal where we're talking about the hard stuff. We're talking about the difficult things. I like this new normal where people are asking questions for themselves and questioning things and deciding what feels good to them instead of following the group think of, well, this is just what we do. So we're not going to wake up tomorrow and go back to the old normal, period, plain and simple. So the choice is either to keep surviving and keep treading water or to make the decision today that we're going to thrive in this. What's the problem? What do I want to be the end result? What are the 5 main steps I need to take? And then I'm going to take action. Oh my gosh, it didn't work. Okay, then what worked? What didn't work? How do I want to adjust? And then take action again. Rinse and repeat, because we are here to thrive. Because we have this idea that we can't handle things or that we're not good enough to do something. This right here, we are all resilient. We are made of steel and fire. We are resilient enough to make it through this. You are resilient enough to make it through this. You are strong enough. You are capable enough. You have enough fire and grit in your soul to make it through this. So get up and choose to problem solve and thrive in this new normal. Not just survive. We're not here to just survive. That's boring and that sucks. We are here to thrive in this new normal. So how can we make it work? You know what I'm saying? My whole point with this is change the mindset. Flip the mindset around this. Oh my God, all this stuff. When are we going to go back to normal? We're going to go back to some semblance of normal, but it's going to be a new normal. So instead of say, how can I make this new normal work? How can I make the best of it? How can I grow from it? And how can I learn from it? And then what action am I going to take right now? And then the question that my coach asked me today, she said, so when are you committing to taking that action? So you create this plan. So for example, here's the problem. Here's the result I want. Here's my 5 main steps to it. So the question I'm asking to you today is the same question she asked me. You made that plan out now. You're saying, okay, I'm going to make the best of this and make it work. When are you committing to taking action to problem solve and actually thrive? Tell me, in this video, whenever you're watching it, put it in the comments when you figured it out, or message me if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the comments. When are you committing to taking action and moving forward and stepping into that problem solving and thriving realm instead of the panic and just surviving? When are you committing to taking action and kicking in this new norm instead of just wishing and waiting? Because I'm telling you, we're not going to wake up tomorrow and be back into the old normal, and I don't even want that. I don't want the old normal back where we're not willing and able to have conversations around tough topics. Where what I have found to be the most fascinating thing out of this pandemic is how many businesses and people have started to problem solve and figure out new things, new ways, new questions. You know what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents today. That is what I really, really wanted to share today and felt called to say. The most beautiful thing is messy action, just moving and taking action. Because honestly, perfectionism, that's a mathematical formula, and the world doesn't need more robots. It needs more unique, incredible, amazing human beings. So Becca, I am so glad that you mentioned that. She said again, perfection is the sister of procrastination. I freaking love that. So no more panicking and just surviving, waiting for the old normal to show up. We are now saying, okay, there's a new normal here and we are going to thrive in it. How can I grow? How can I learn? How can I make the best of this? And we're going to say, what is the problem? What's the end result that I want? We're going to create 5 actionable steps, and then we're going to freaking take action right now. No second guessing, taking that messy action no matter what. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to say what did work, what didn't work, how do I want to adjust, and boom, move forward on it. Okay? So that's my 2 cents for today. If this resonated with you, and if you need help, for example, my band directors with the virtual learning thing, my Basics in a Box course, which is my online marching fundamentals course, I have reformatted it so that you can use it for virtual teaching, virtual learning, that you can share these videos with them and get them to turn in video assignments. So there's one option of problem solving is Basics in a Box, my online marching fundamentals course. That is something you can use if you're starting late and can't do your band camp, because my teaching methods and my efficiency of teaching marching technique is gold. So message me about that. I'm glad to help you out with that, okay? There are so many options for this. Let's find a way to thrive in it instead of just surviving. Let's calm the nervous system back down, like doing some breath work. You can even Google on YouTube things of it's called breath work. Do some breath work, yoga, meditation and visualization to calm the nervous system back down, because we spent 5 months in this high stress, raised cortisol, like triggered nervous system. Okay? Because another thing too is there's a really good book called The Body Keeps the Score. It's around how the body, the nervous system holds trauma in the system for a very long time. So it's going to be a constant thing that every single day we're having to work to bring the nervous system down. In my entrepreneur life, every single day I do guided meditations and visualizations and journaling and things like that to maintain and keep my nervous system down. Because entrepreneur life, y'all, it's a roller coaster, but I'm going to thrive in it and I'm going to be the hero of my own story, right? So be the hero of your own story. We're going to thrive in this new normal, and we're going to make the best of it, and we're going to kick ass, because that is what we are. We are full of grit and resilience. You know what I'm saying? Okay, friends, I love you so much, and if this was helpful, feel free to share this, tag people below in the comments, because this is something we need to really start doing, is problem solving and moving forward as humanity and society, okay? I love you guys so much. You are so incredible and amazing, and you're freaking rock stars. You can do this. We got this. We are resilient, and we are steel and fire, all right? I love you guys. Bye, friends.